All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the No Quarter Podcast, Idaho's #1 podcast.
Yup.
Just want to, we're what, episode 9 now?
Yep.
Before we get into all of our spicy political commentary, just a quick ask. We'd love for you guys to like and follow all of our social media stuff. It's No Quarter Pod on YouTube, Instagram, No Quarter _pod on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it. And then if you guys really love us, Jeremy, you want to plug your...
Yeah, if you really love us, follow SimShot Meridian. Or if you are a SimShot homie already from California or Idaho.
Share.
Yeah, like, follow, share, comments. I post stuff from the No Quarter Pod on the SimShot page. If you see it, grab it, send it. Right.
Yeah, please do us a favor, man.
Yeah, Rob.
Share it. We're getting pretty close to where we can actually reach some people in the algorithms in the back. So it'd be great. It's a good, simple task. Like, share, and comment. Please put your comments in the bottom.
You want to plug your stuff?
Man, you guys all know where I'm at.
ShopBlackRifle.com.
ShopBlackRifle.com. And if you haven't already, get signed up on our mailing list. We are probably going to not shut down our social medias, but I'm done dealing with the censorship, constantly being shadow banned, throttled. I feel like anything that we send out, it just doesn't reach anybody anymore.
Yeah.
So we're going to try to go heavy on the email blast, doing a Q&A on the website. So we're working that out.
Actually, you know what? We've been talking about doing an email blast with all of our cumulative lists. So maybe we'll do a No Quarter Pod like section and do an email. That'll be a good way to boost our followers.
And man, we know this space is super competitive, and there's a lot of people that just love listening to other people probably than us. But we're just real dudes, man, having fun in a little studio.
Yeah.
And we're not trying to sell you anything.
We just think we're funny as hell. So
yeah, I like listening to ourselves.
I'm tickled with ourselves.
And we're better than the other guys.
Yeah.
But
if there's something you guys can't speak about publicly, drop us a comment, drop us an email.
Yeah, Rob will say anything.
And we'll put it out here, man. Like, seriously.
Maybe
I feel like I can't be canceled. I mean, people have tried for 16 years, but
how many
I really don't care.
How many accounts have you had deleted at this point?
Oh, tons, dude. We've had our main, the Sacramento Black Rifle Facebook page. I mean, before Facebook was even a thing. I mean, we had 30, 40, 50,000 people on there, and they nuked the account, unpublished it December. It's funny, if you go on that account, it says in great standings. It's all green. Everything's
all green,
good.
but you can't use
that
it.
it's unpublished. So I'm just done dealing with it. My personal accounts have been taken down multiple times, but I think I'm just going to we are going to transition to the email blast.
Yeah.
And that's how we're going to get our message out.
I think it's the most building those email lists up is the most right now is the most untouchable way for us to continue to communicate with a broader audience. So.
Well, you know, the other thing is too, there's actual people that want to see the product that we have listed for sale.
Right.
Yep.
And even when we do put it out there on Instagram or any of the other social media posts, they're like, dude, we haven't seen you post in months.
Yeah.
We're like, I'll do a test post. Nope, still don't see it. So even with our email list is massive.
Well, it's because they look at you guys like you're selling stuff, which you are, the company is, but you're not selling on social media.
Yeah.
You're just
Correct.
using it as an educational platform.
But people still say they don't see our emails.
Yeah.
Like, we'll get the push notifications. We'll even get so all the analytics in the back. Obviously, you ran the Factor website, so you saw everything in the back there. But you could see the subscribe rate, right? And sometimes they'll peak, and then but the engagements are super high too at the same time. So who knows if that's all real? It's hard to tell, because there's people that are definitely on that list. They call us, hey, am I still on your guys' email list? We haven't received an email. And I'm like, here, I'll send you one right now. And they're like, we're not getting it. Because I can send them individually as well.
Yeah.
So who knows what's happening in there. But that's kind of where we're going to migrate to. But
I like it.
glad to be here today in the studio. We got a lot to talk about.
Go buy an Atlas. Go buy an Atlas from Rob.
Yeah.
Go buy a fucking
If you can
Atlas.
get one, they're like 13-month waits. It's crazy.
Yeah, but you have, what, 3?
We have, we
4?
sold one yesterday. I think we have 2 left. And I have one almost done in the build process. I think it's got a serial number now.
Yeah,
so
if you want to not suck at shooting, just get a gun that shoots for you.
cheat codes.
Not a SIG shoots for you, but like, you know, you hold it, you tell it what to do, and it just does it perfectly for you. So go buy nice guns.
And if you ever want to shoot one before you buy one, let me know. We can arrange that as well.
Nice. That's cool.
That is pretty
You guys
cool.
have a demo gun, or you just
Yeah, like $7,000 demo gun. It's all decked out too.
So let's get into it. I can't remember who posted it. You said it was Misfit Patriot. Is that who it was?
Everybody's
It's
picked it up
everywhere
now.
It's
but
everywhere. So apparently there was an interview that was happening with Kamala Harris. The question was something along the lines of, how do you view gun confiscations in context of your gun control plan if you get
Yeah.
elected? I don't. How was it worded?
I don't know, because the first part of the question was cut off, and it was just like, you know how things get taken out of context. So let's preface
sure.
that, you know, like none of us have heard the actual raw
The full
video,
raw,
because
uncut.
everybody's trying to get clickbait and this whatnot. But it was
Same
on
thing
the
we're doing.
it was on the preface of, what are your plans on gun control the first 100 days?
Right.
And she said, basically, in a nutshell, Congress is not acting. They're too cowardly, basically, to act within her first 100 days. If they can't come to an agreement on gun control, gun violence, that she will executive order. And then it doesn't really explain what that is. I think people can allude to the AR-15, obviously, in magazines. That's exactly what they've been trying to do for the last 8 years.
Yeah.
That's just been a talking point for forever. And then if you look back at these congressional hearings and the Senate hearings with the FBI and the Secret Service, the Dems weren't even remotely trying to get to the bottom of how the fucking kid got on the fucking roof.
They were just worried about
and
what?
how many rounds that he took and the security protocols that were not taken,
Yeah.
but they were focused more on the fucking gun, the 150 rounds of ammunition that he was able to purchase, and so on and so forth. So that's where we're at. You know what I mean?
You see that, what is that stupid ass bitch from The View who was like,
they're all
which
stupid ass
one?
bitches
that's
from
true,
The View.
all stupid. I think it was the fucking fiery redhead. And she was like, oh, how is a Caucasian male able to buy 150 rounds and not alert the government to check on that?
Yeah. Well, let me
It's
let
like,
me tell you
shit, I
something.
order thousands of rounds at a time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but you also live
Fuck.
in a state that there's no tracking of.
Yeah, I also am not a creepy fucking weirdo.
Well,
Well, you're right.
well,
Good point.
let's okay. I'm gonna get into some tea just real quick, because
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
in that space.
All right.
I'm dealing with all the agencies, local, federal. I'm dealing with the customers on the counter. I'm gonna get into some tea that this wasn't widely known. It is. They never outed the gun shop, but I'll just out myself right now. This happened at the Sacramento store.
Okay.
2 years ago, we had a frantic call from the ATF, an agent back east, requesting some information on somebody that purchased a firearm. Now, legally, we have to give that information up when the National Tracing Center actually pings us, either via phone call or an email. Okay. We must give up that data. That's every FFL in the country has to do that if the National Tracing Center does a trace.
Can I ask a clarifying question?
Sure.
Does that have to be subpoenaed, or is that a
That is part of the
element of your
license.
FFL?
That's an element of being licensed
Okay.
as an FFL. So we get a frantic call from an ATF agent. I don't know who he is. I can't verify or vet him on his credentials over the phone, needing some information on a certain customer, certain file. And I absolutely put my foot down like I do every time and say, no, I need a subpoena or a warrant, or the National Tracing Center needs to do this. Well, he's going on and on about how this is a national security threat, and I need these files now. I said, well, I can totally appreciate that, but you need to follow the steps that are proper. I'm not just giving out anybody's information. So fast forward, they end up having the National Tracing Center get a hold of us, and we have the file. We send the file over, whatnot. Kind of goes away for like a day or two. They never tell us what's happening. About 2 days later, Secret Service shows up at the Sacramento store with about 4, 5, 6 agents wanting to speak to the manager, wanting to speak to me, not knowing that I'm actually here in Idaho and they're dealing with the Sacramento store. So my assistant manager ended up taking that role on. They grabbed the file, start talking to Secret Service. A gentleman had bought 10 magazines that are 10-round magazines, and he bought 1,000 rounds of 5.56. He purchased a rifle, right? And he purchased some body armor. Nothing out of the ordinary. That's a normal sale
Yeah.
any day.
Yeah.
The guy waited his 10 days, did his background check, cleared, did his background check on the ammunition. Well, I guess he had a manifesto that he was on his way to D.C. to shoot Fauci and or Biden,
How
one
terrible.
of the two.
Jeez.
So that's what triggered this. So going back to these dumb bitches on The View, how can somebody buy? Listen, there's all these checks and balances, right? There is no way at the dealer level that you would ever know that something was up unless the person was a complete fucking weirdo or you knew prior to selling them. We didn't know. We had no idea. The guy was actually a customer of ours prior to this. So there was no red flags. He had purchased things from us before. There was no issue. Anyhow, there are the checks and balances that these idiots want to talk about, but there's no way that you could stop somebody that's hell-bent on doing any of those things, just like a fucking car. If I wanted to go get in my F-250 right now and I was fucking pissed off and mad, I could go straight to the fucking mall and just start running people over in the fucking parking lot. There's nothing you could do about it until you disabled my vehicle or you disabled me.
They want to be able to charge future crimes.
Yeah. I mean, it's just ridiculous.
And that's the whole problem is we can't live in a minority report state.
No.
Like
Well,
for
that's
all,
where they're trying to get us to be.
right. They want to be able to say, well, he's going to do this in the future. And so we're going to judge based off of what might be instead of what has been. And that's very problematic.
Yeah.
You can't.
Well, you have all these talking heads, all these idiots. It's all clickbait, right? So they want it for their YouTubes. They want it for their Instagrams. They want it for the nightly news. Like, oh, what are you going to do? One, I don't believe that she could do executive orders and ban straight out firearms.
Right.
Just off of a classification. That needs to go through Congress, okay? You're not going to get both House and the Senate to freaking agree on that. One, you're taking the number one selling firearm. This platform right here is the number one selling firearm for the last 10 years.
Ever.
Right? This surpasses anything. This platform right here, the simple AR-15.
Yeah.
So one, the only thing that's scary about this is we've seen this playbook in California over the last 16 years. It's gotten crazier every single year. There's a new progressive person coming on the scene that's now going to get somebody to co-sponsor a bill to strip away your rights. And then what happens at that point, it ends up in litigation and it takes years to reverse. So I'm not very well versed on what her powers could be as the president. Can she write an executive order? And then it gets held up in the courts, and then we can't sell these. These become illegal, just like the brace, right? The ATF, they don't have authority to make laws.
Nope.
Not anymore.
And they just outlawed the fucking brace for a few months and demanded that people fucking register their SBRs.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or their braces as SBRs.
And a lot of dummies did.
And a
There
lot
were
of
a
them
few
did.
people that did it. And we had gun stores right here in this valley advocating for it. Like advocating for you to fucking register those weapons.
Seriously.
Yes.
They're just trying to make sales, though. I mean,
They
I
had a
get it.
billboard. They had a fucking billboard out in front of their shop right here on Fairview.
No
What'd it
way.
say?
Yes.
Come buy an SBR. and
I
register
forget
with
what
the
it is. I
feds.
have somebody was sending it to me. It was like, oh,
God.
dude, we'll register your fucking, your AR pistol. It's like, dude, what the fuck?
That's crazy.
Register a fucking product that they're trying to make fucking illegal, so you're on a list saying that you have an illegal fucking product.
You know, and thank goodness, right? Like,
Yeah.
thank goodness that we have a Supreme Court with a fucking head on their shoulders.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because they just told the ATF to go fuck themselves. You can't do that.
Well, they basically, I think the ruling was essentially that federal agencies don't have the right to create declarations or orders or whatever that essentially changes legislation. It has
Right.
to be a legislative action for
But
a
here's
law
how
to be
progressive
created.
these fuckers are right now. And if people think that this is going to solve all of their fucking issues, they're voting in communism. That is what they're doing. These motherfuckers are so far left now that they don't even register with fucking a majority of the country,
Mhm.
right? It's a very small portion. So if they don't rig the fucking election, Trump wins in a landslide. Because even the fucking left and the center, they don't like this fucking crazy shit.
Well, even
And now they're mad because they're getting their fucking asses handed to them in the courts. They want to fucking stack the court. They want to fucking have term limits on the fucking courts.
Yeah, that's Biden's thing he just came out with was an 18-year term limit for the SCOTUS.
Dude, fuck that. If there needs to be term limits on anybody, it's on the motherfuckers that are acting right now.
Yeah.
That have been in these roles for 30, 40, 50 fucking years. Like, dude, fuck you.
Yeah.
No more.
Question. I'm just going to try to flip the tables and play devil's advocate a little bit.
God damn it.
If
Always with the devil's advocate.
Well, I think it's a fair way to explore ideas. It's just like a thought experiment. If we had a highly progressive, highly liberal SCOTUS, right? Do you think we would be singing term limits?
No, because
as
okay,
conservatives?
listen. We talked before on this podcast, right? I'm a constitutionalist, right? I'm conservative. I'm a conservative, okay? I believe in God. I'm not a fucking Bible thumper by any means. And I'm not an atheist, okay? I get it. I get both sides. I'm more in the middle. And I think more as I get older, right? As I get older and not giving a fuck any longer because I've had a great life. I feel like I've had a great life. I've lived a great life. That as I get older, I'm not giving a fuck. I'm turning more into a more down the middle. I don't want people telling me what the fuck to do.
Okay.
And I'm not going to tell somebody what the fuck to do. However, there is a constitution, right? We've had people die for that fucking flag, for the values of America, and all of those values seem to be getting eroded away every election cycle. We are getting more progressively to the fucking left, and I'm done with it. I'm fucking done with it. Like, I'm over it. Okay. And so, like we talked before on the previous podcast, what does this future look like? Now that I have a grandson in the picture, like when I hold that kid, dude, I can't fucking stop but get emotional.
Yeah, it gets tangible.
And I'm like, fuck, what are we leaving him? Right?
Yeah.
Like, what are we leaving him? And I know both of you have two boys.
Yep.
What are we leaving them?
Yeah, no, I totally agree.
So
I want to, but back to the question though, if we had a highly progressive SCOTUS, which we don't, and I'm grateful for that.
Thank God we don't.
But if we were on the other side of the table and had a progressive SCOTUS, and we as conservative,
but we have been on that side of the table. Look at it in years past.
Okay.
Right? Thank goodness they started dying off. And then we got a good president to actually put some level-headed people in there. And I don't really think that they're really that far right either. They've had some fucking pretty shitty rulings.
Okay.
In my opinion.
So would the and I would agree with that. But would the answer then be being on the other side? Because I would say that we haven't had a hyper progressive SCOTUS. We've definitely had a split bench, and we've had conservatives and liberals, but it's never been a hyper progressive. And I would say this is probably the most conservative Supreme Court we've had in quite a while.
If we're not fucking careful, that's what's going to happen.
Okay, so my question is we're talking about, we're shitting on Biden for wanting to put in term limits for the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
Which I disagree with, but it's very easy for me to disagree with it because the Supreme Court sits in my opinion's favor right now. So the question is, if we had a SCOTUS that was hyper progressive, hyper liberal, would our opinions about term limits change?
I think our founding fathers that drafted the Constitution were way smarter than any of these fucking idiots that we have right now. And I think they got it right. And I don't think that we should be messing with it now, because if we start doing that, all hell is going to break loose. Right now, they are saving the country from fucking being in turmoil.
Mm-hmm.
And I think as we all get older, right? I'm a little older than both of you guys. We take up different stances throughout our life.
Sure.
Right? I look at my parents, right? I feel like they're shifting more to the left. Like, my parents did not like Trump at all. Now my mom especially, she fucking hated Trump. Now she's like, fuck, I wish we had Trump back. How could they try to kill him?
Yeah.
I'm like, you guys lived through fucking JFK.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, so I don't know. I think when we progress through our lives,
sure,
we start thinking a little bit differently.
Totally agree.
Like, I'm getting older, and I'm literally starting to not give a fuck about certain things.
Well, you care less about outside perspective, outside opinions, because at the end of the day, most of it doesn't really affect your life.
And we touched
people
on
want
this,
to demonize you as an individual,
and I don't
Whatever.
care. Yeah.
What about you?
To answer your question,
yeah,
I think that right now, since it is in our favor, I feel the same as you. Like, I'm kind of like, yeah, no term limits.
Yeah, it's easy.
We'll just keep them in. But if the liberals, if we had a progressive SCOTUS, I think we would think differently.
But let me ask you this.
Because I would right away. So if it was like super liberal, then I'd be like, we got to get these fuckers out of here.
Yeah, how do we
But
right away?
But how do we stop it before it even gets to that point? You stop it at the local level.
Yeah.
You have to make change locally.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Before it gets to like all this litigation, and then it has to go to the higher court, and then the higher court and appeals court. Like, we have to fucking start making change now at the local level.
Yeah.
Your city council, your freaking school board meetings, talking to your neighbor, getting less divided, you know? And dude, I don't care where you're at on the spectrum of politics. Don't try to push your shit on me that you don't like. If you don't like guns, don't buy a fucking gun.
Yep.
Plain and simple. Worry about your fucking self, and then worry about things that you could fucking physically change yourself.
Oh, I mean, that's true for anything, dude. I don't want to suck dick, so I just don't.
Exactly.
Don't do it. I don't,
exactly.
I don't feel like fucking a guy, so I'm just not going to do that.
I mean,
Yeah.
in my
It's really easy.
my opinion, come with your fucking radical shit at this point.
Yeah.
Come. I think we're just waiting. We're waiting for a situation.
I'm gonna come.
I'm going to come with some radical shit.
Well,
Don't you come.
I'm
I'm
just-
gonna come.
I'm just saying, you know what? Do what you're gonna do, and I think you're gonna get an unintended. You're gonna get a result that you're not really looking for.
For sure.
Yeah, 100%.
Because I think people are just fucking done, dude. Honestly.
Yeah.
Well, it's like when you're a progressive idealism makes sense when you're young and their consequences are low.
Yeah.
But when you get older, you have a career, you have a family, and your priorities for what are important and need to be protected, as those change, those progressive ideals, those things that seem good in theory, start functionally affecting how you're able to live your life, what you feel comfortable sending your children to do.
Yeah.
And that's when people start to become more moderate, more conservative.
For any woman or a black woman that decides that they need to vote for fucking Harris because she's black or she's a woman, I would ask those women
Sexist.
to take a week and go walk down Venice Beach at night by your fucking self.
Yeah. I mean,
Go to Venice Beach. Just go to Venice Beach. Okay? Go to fucking San Francisco. Go to downtown Sacramento. Go to these big cities. Walk by yourself down any of those fucking cities, blocks, by yourself. And you fucking tell me if you want more of that at the national level.
the double standard cracks me up. Just talking about, I'm voting for her because she's black, or I'm voting for her because she's a she and whatever. I mean, I literally watched a reel last night, and this lady was talking about, her comment was, your vagina is on the ballot. Let's vote for somebody with a vagina. And I'm like, dude, the double standard for sexism is so comical.
What about this? Did you guys see this yesterday? White males for Harris?
Yeah.
No,
Did you see this shit?
Those are some weird
Let's take
dudes.
some of those fucking beta males by themselves, one guy, pick any of those motherfuckers that was on that Zoom or whatever.
Yeah.
Any one of them. And let them go do that same fucking thing in any of those cities by themselves.
I mean,
Guaranteed one, they'd be robbed, beat the fuck up, and then they'd change their fucking view. That this is who you want running our fucking country?
either that or they change their pronouns, but whatever.
Yeah. Well, I'm telling you, dude, we do not want her. I was involved in a fucking
she's-
lawsuit against her.
She's a weak leader. I mean, look what she did in. I want to hear about your lawsuit. But look what she did in San Francisco. Look what she did in California.
Yeah.
Look at her record as a senator. She is a weak, fair weather leader that is only going to do what is going to net her a gain in power and a gain in favor.
The only
That's
reason
it.
they even want her is because she will do whatever they tell her to do.
Absolutely true. All right, I want to hear about your lawsuit though.
It was really nothing. It was like there was an old ass law in California about gun dealers, FFL holders in California about advertising. You're not allowed to advertise or see from the front door any concealable firearm. So we could not have a case, like a jewelry store would have a case where people could walk by and see handguns. Well, one of my buddies that owned Tracy Rifle and Pistol back in the day, Mike Barilla, had a really nice range in Tracy with a shooting range in it, with a gun store, whatnot, and he had these big glass windows. Well, he put advertisements on the outside of them of handguns, advertising that he sold handguns. Well, on his inspection, the DOJ does inspections, frequently to make sure that you're compliant with all your paperwork and signage and whatnot. They wrote him up for that. They fucking gave him a misdemeanor ticket for that. So everything's a misdemeanor in California when it comes to this kind of thing. It's actually a crime. So there was 3 of us gun dealers that were friends, and we jumped on a lawsuit and sued her. She was the AG at the time, so it was obviously suing the state of California. She was the, who we were actually suing, and we actually beat her. But it's just like the amount of litigation in that case and how much money they spent to fight us on something that doesn't hurt anybody. It's advertisement of a firearm on the outside of a building. It's not, going to change anybody's way. Like a child, I got to have that gun, mom or dad, or you know what I mean? So it was just an antiquated law, but just the radicalism of that party, her, and you could just, and it's there. It's on Google. You could go look her up. Mm-hmm. She is progressively left. And like Trump has said, she's far worse than Biden. She is far worse than Obama.
Oh, yeah.
As an individual, for sure. Absolutely.
And her policies, like her mentally, her thinking. She will do what anybody tells her to do.
I think that's the problem. I don't know that she actually has any original thoughts for herself. She got through law school. She's obviously capable of reading a book and taking a test. I do not. When you listen to her speak, she is not an intelligent person.
No, she's a fucking retard.
She is not. She does not have
with a fucking hard R. Just so that we're clear.
but she does not have clear original thought. She cannot articulate a new idea off the cuff. It's all talking points, it's all cues, it's all rhetoric. I mean, dude, the different videos that they're putting together that are compiling all of these clips from her speeches. I mean, it is literally just repeat.
Here's some of the saving grace in my mind. And when I talk to my father-in-law, and I talk to my mother-in-law, and I talk to my wife, and I talk to other people, right? Like just that have lived in California, born and raised in California. You know how difficult it is because we're all transplants to Idaho.
Yep.
There are a lot of people that don't like us here.
Yeah.
They don't like transplants.
Yeah.
There's a lot of fucking people in the United States that don't fucking like California. They like to visit.
Sure.
They don't like anything about their fucking politics.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I don't think she has a fucking chance. I don't think Gavin Newsom has a chance.
Not with her as the nominee.
Unless they fucking cheat.
They can't put. I don't think that there is a chance in hell that they're going to put Gavin Newsom on a ticket with Kamala
I don't
Harris.
think they legally can because they're both from the same state.
Oh,
that's something
I didn't
read.
even know that was a law.
I don't know that is legitimate.
That was going to be my comment,
If somebody
though.
can put that in the comments, somebody can find that law. But I believe because they're from the exact same state, they're not allowed to run on the same ticket.
And that was going to be my comment. The DNC would be foolish to put two high-powered California Democrats on the same ticket.
Yeah.
That they would be alienating a big section of their voter base just simply because of where they are from.
I think that those two are totally unelected or unelectable. The last person to ever get elected out of California to high office was Ronald Reagan. He fucking did some of the craziest fucking gun control shit ever. People forget about that, but it's real.
Reagan did,
yeah. He outlawed open carry because he was afraid of the Black Panthers back in the day because they assembled,
I say we bring them back.
Right?
Arm the Black Panthers.
Fuck. Arm everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Fuck. But anyhow, I honestly don't think that she's electable. I don't think anybody out of the state of California is electable because of the fucking crazy progressive way they have destroyed that state.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you what, that new law went in effect this month on the taxation of ammunition and firearms. We're down $100,000 this month.
In Sacramento?
Yes.
Wow.
$100,000 off of what our normal projection is, and we're $100,000 off of last year's numbers.
Jeez.
That's a huge number.
That's a huge number.
That's a huge number to make up.
What's the tax percentage that California's taking?
It's like a total of like 17 or 18%.
Jesus.
Wow.
Depending on where you live. you know, because obviously you have state tax, but it's like 11% tax on top of
your
everything.
state
And
sales
how
tax.
far is Reno Sparks from Sacramento?
2 hours.
Yeah, but
2
California's
hours.
made it illegal to
To
bring
yeah.
in anything from out of state.
Yeah.
So
Easter that shit.
as a as a
it's-
California resident, technically speaking, I don't know if it's a felony or a misdemeanor, but you cannot go to Reno, buy whatever you want to buy, and then bring it back.
Yeah.
How would they know?
Pull you over.
I don't know.
They watch you.
I have heard of people who, for no other reason, got pulled over basically looking for muled goods. And
Yeah, so they'll watch. So
it's
at these
obviously
big gun,
the
these
DOJ
big
is
gun-
tapping.
these big gun shows. There's California DOJ agents at those gun shows.
for
I've
sure.
ran into them. I recognize them.
Guys that you know.
Guys that are agents that I know that have been in the store to freaking do transactions or actually be there for enforcement issues, you know, or whatever. I know that they're there. I see them, and then
For sure.
I've actually been confronted. Hey, you know, don't let anybody know that we're here. It's like, what
Be
the
like,
fuck?
no,
Okay,
Fuck
yeah.
you, bro. I'm telling everyone.
Well, the
Yeah.
problem is you got to play nice with them,
I
right?
mean,
Nice-ish.
dude, I-
Within
dude,
reason.
right.
Listen, me being nice in the industry for California it's been fucking long gone.
Yeah.
Like I do the law, and I have lawyers. So
Yeah.
if you guys want to fucking write me up for something that you perceive that I have done wrong, fine. You get to talk to my lawyer.
Yeah.
So I don't fucking talk to those idiots outside of any of their just normal stuff. And if I disagree with it, then before I sign anything, I send it off and say, hey, I need representation.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, they'll write you up for anything. It's ridiculous.
I believe that. Yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. I agree. I think whatever executive action that, getting back to the original topic that we were on, whatever executive action that she does end up taking, I think it's likely going to be some sort of reinstatement of the original AR ban, the NFA. That's what I think. I don't think she's going to be able to write new law via executive action. I think she's going to end up having to extend an existing law that is on the books or reinstate an existing law that was passed by legislation. I think that's the only way she's going to be able to effectively.
I don't
do
even
it.
think that you could bring back something that's already expired, though.
It's expired.
Like, I don't know how that works. I'm not a.
I don't know how it would work either, but I don't see. I think that would be the only way that she would be able to get anything even remotely close to being successful.
Yeah.
Not by writing something new, but by extending something that exists.
Well, even let's say that she can. Okay. Let's say she's just like, guns are illegal. Fucking, we're taking them all. How?
Well,
Oh.
they
Logistically,
have
how?
actually.
Logistically, and how are you going to afford it? Dude,
Yeah,
the
so
amount
they-
of
well,
money
that's
it
the
would
thing
take to
that-
confiscate. Oh,
You're gonna. And here's the thing
Dude,
too.
they have enough money to send over to fucking Ukraine. There's enough money to. They
Oh,
could
yeah,
throw.
they'll print money.
They could do whatever they want. You know what I mean?
But how?
Let's do it.
Yeah, come
Let's
on.
fucking do it. Let's quit talking about it and just fucking do it.
Because
You guys
how?
been talking about it for 16 years that I've been in the
Yeah.
gun business. Fucking do it.
It
Let's
do-
go.
It doesn't logistically doesn't make sense.
I'd like to see how it fucking plays out. To be honest with you,
It's not gonna
you
play
know,
out good.
you see how these motherfuckers
here.
did it
Not here.
in Australia, just fucking giving their guns away.
Yeah.
Venezuela. Now you got motherfuckers getting
Look at
ran over
Venezuela
and
right now.
shot
It's
in the
fucking
fucking
wild.
streets as of this week.
I don't think we have the same class of gun owners that they did in Australia
No.
and Venezuela.
Bro, I'll tell you what.
I-
Let's get this fucking thing on. Let's go.
There's gonna be some there's gonna be some that are gonna hand them over, but there's gonna be a
Good.
bunch that consolidate
Hey.
geographically.
Yeah, no, it's
And you guys know how I feel. Like, I'm a huge supporter of law enforcement, but guess what? You motherfuckers are gonna have to choose a side.
that right there is going to be.
You're gonna have to
that
choose
is
a
the-
fucking side when that shit hits the
well,
fan.
and
That
what
is
it's
gonna
going to
be
come
the
down to, I
dividing
think,
line.
too, is really what we'll find out is we'll find out what law enforcement agents truly are patriots and which ones are pension chasing fucking cowards. That's what's going to be
can't wait.
exposed.
There,
Now,
and there,
here's
and
the
there are
thing.
there are a lot of patriots.
Oh yeah,
in
well
law
there
enforcement.
are, but there are also a lot of fucking rule followers
I'm
and
not.
cowards.
I'm not denying that. at
Right.
all.
So and we see it all the time. Like, hey man, you can't do that. It's like, fuck you, bro. Like, you're in. My. So for me, and I've probably said this 100. I sound like a broken fucking record, right? If a law enforcement officer's job is to enforce the rule of the fucking government, the hand of the government against my freedoms, we're fucking not homies.
Yeah.
You are a fucking.
Bro, they were arresting people for fucking surfing in 2020.
going to a park
I
with your
think
kids.
Surfing.
They were arresting people for crossing the beach. The surfing, if you got to the waves via waterway, they couldn't touch you.
Well, they
Until you
but they
come
were
back on
called.
the
They were.
beach.
They did though.
They
L.A.
did.
County Police or L.A.
I know.
Sheriff and fucking LAPD. They were arresting people for being out on the fucking beach
Isn't
during
that wild,
COVID.
dude?
Yeah.
It's like, dude, fuck you. those cops should be fucking. They'll be the first ones, dude, that are fucking done.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing too, and it's
Like,
oh,
fuck
well,
that.
COVID, like I've heard law enforcement people say, oh, cops say like, oh, COVID was a sham, fuck all that, it's bullshit, I don't believe it, blah 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 blah, and it's like, well, then why the fuck did you enforce anything?
Yeah. Well, and that's and it's not that it's not here. I mean, what's her
Sarah Brady.
Sarah.
Yeah,
She got arrested in a park in Meridian.
Yep.
For playing.
For
With
having
her
her kids
kids.
playing.
They fucking roped off the fuck. It's so crazy, bro.
So it's
and
not
her
that it's-
husband was a cop too.
Right, so it's
Like, I
not
bet you
right.
that was fucking
So it's
interesting
not
in their
that it's
household.
not here. Like we're gonna see some
Yeah.
divide here as well.
Bro, we did. Look at the fucking health, like Meridian Health. I remember after the fact, we were here 2021 at the store, and I was hearing the news, like they had to call a SWAT team because people were fucking surrounding the Meridian Health building down
Yeah.
here because they're trying to put mandates in.
Yep.
And the fucking police had to be called out to fucking disperse the crowds. 'cause
Well, and
people were
don't
getting
forget too, they
hella
deployed
pissed.
the National Guard to every urgent care
Where?
in Idaho.
Really?
Yeah, you go through any of the fucking urgent cares to do your fucking your COVID test, and there'd be a little booth, right?
Was it the medical corps?
Were they? Oh yeah, were they administering the test or what were they doing? Were they
Because there's a
enforcing-
difference
No, they-
between deploying National Guard for
Well,
enforcement
okay.
and for manpower.
I think it was manpower.
Okay,
but
Okay.
still,
no, it's not. That's a very different thing. They were leveraging that as a manpower thing. Now, if you're creating a martial law state,
oh well, fuck that. Come get some. fucking-
now we're talking about a very different thing. Because
it was not martial law.
when COVID first came out, I deployed with the California National Guard. They were setting up all those like field hospital
Yeah.
mash like
that
things.
was just manpower.
And it was well and right. And so there and in California, I don't think Idaho has this. There's the California Guard
Mhm.
and then there's the California National Guard.
Right, right.
Both the National Guard is under a federal I can't remember what the title is, but they're under a federal title.
Yeah.
The California Guard is a
State
paramilitary. It's the state militia, is essentially what it is.
Yeah.
But both were present. None were armed. It was just medical personnel.
I think
Yeah.
so. Where for me, like I didn't follow any of these. Honestly, since COVID, I don't know the last time I ever went shopping. I've made my wife do it all because she knows that I will not fucking comply to any of. I didn't wear a mask. We went to Hawaii. They made us wear a mask, whatever. And then I was like, "We're done. We're coming home."
I almost got kicked off a plane because they were trying to make my boy wear a mask.
So I
I
never
threw a
complied.
hissy
I got
fit.
written up at my Spark store for not having a mask on by the health officials. They just happened to be there that day that I was there and I wasn't wearing a mask and we got written up and we got a fucking huge letter and a fine and all this bullshit. And we tried to appeal it and it just wasn't working. But personally, I've never followed any of the rules
Yeah.
at all. And I never had done any shopping. And to this day, I still haven't gone and done any grocery shopping at all. But my line in the sand is confiscation of guns or even banning the AR-15.
Absolutely.
That'll be it. If they come after mags and try to make a magazine, 10-round magazine throughout the United States or a 15-round, whatever that is, like
Whatever, dude.
I'm going to
Like,
give up the FFLs. I'm going to burn the fucking stores to the ground, literally with all the fucking information in it, with the customer's information, and that'll be it.
Yeah.
I'm fucking, that's where
metaphorically
my
for
line in the
insurance
sand is.
purposes. Metaphorically for insurance purposes.
In my head, that's where
Yes.
I'm at.
Yeah. So
But I think, let's get it on. Let's see what she has to do. Let's see what she has to say further. I mean, I don't want to take this out of context because I don't have the full quote. I can't
yeah,
find
we
it
don't
anywhere.
know.
Everybody keeps saying the way it's circling social media is Kamala Harris wants to take executive action on gun confiscations. That's how it's circling. I have yet to hear a specific question that states confiscation, and her response did not state confiscation. So
Yeah.
I'm not sure how or why that is becoming the narrative.
Well,
but it's
and
all
this
over.
is a
I know that
conservatives
we're
wanna
going
put
to
it
get this
all
in the
over my
comments and we're
feed.
going to get this in our messages. Well, Trump did more gun control than any fucking sitting president. Okay, that may be true.
I don't worship
That-
Trump.
neither do I.
I just don't. He's got my vote
Yeah.
for this round, but I don't think that any presidential candidate is going to be our savior. I just don't.
No.
Man, and
I
a lot
really
of people
don't.
think Trump is a fucking god.
No,
Like, how people worship that dude is fucking culty as fuck.
I do not. I think he has some redeeming qualities.
Yes.
I'm impressed with the way he handled himself during the assassination attempt. He is by no means blameless. He's by no means above reproach. I think he probably is an asshole. I don't know him, never met him. He seems, he's not a god. He's a powerful businessman and a powerful politician.
I think.
And all of them, every last one of them, are all corrupt on some level.
Yeah.
Well, he's got my vote for 3 reasons. One, his resilience, right? The guy's like a cockroach, can't get rid of him.
Yeah.
2, the fucking government, how they came down on him, right?
Yeah.
Any other human being on the planet, we'd all be bankrupt and we'd be shriveled up in a corner, fucking begging for a deal. Yeah. This guy told them, fuck you, no deals, this is where we're going to go. And at every turn, they've tried to chop him down. In my household, my wife and I talk about this all the time. My wife does not want him to go out in public at all. She said if he goes out in public, he needs a helmet, he needs a chest protector, he needs a neck protector.
Dressed like a fucking goalie in hockey.
Like seriously, that's what she wants. If he goes out in public, that's what she wants. But in my opinion, they've tried everything. The only thing they haven't done yet is put him in jail, and they hadn't killed him. Yeah. They tried to fucking kill him. So now it's going to be jail, or there's going to be another attempt on his life.
Well, did you hear
and for that reason, he's getting my fucking single-handedly my vote. I'm going to tell everybody to vote for him.
Yeah, he's got my vote as well.
And that's
absolutely. 100% I'm voting for Donald Trump.
So
there's no
Is he the savior? No. But I think that he could run this country better than anybody that we've had in our lifetime to run this country.
My prediction is he's going to win. He's going to be in office. I think it's going to be a rowdy 4-year term.
Oh, fuck yeah.
I'm very curious where the conservative party, where the Republican Party, but where conservatives in general go
after this
politically after this, because now we're talking about essentially a 12-year reign. No, he's not the president now, and he hasn't been for the last 3.5 years, but he has been a key player in how conservatives have formed their opinions.
He doesn't just go off in the sunset. He'll be doing something other than.
And so that's my question is he going to be the puppet master from now until he goes, until he literally backs off?
I don't know.
I'm very curious what post-Trump eligibility for the presidency looks like.
I think he should go on vacation and just chill.
Yeah.
I'd like to see what they're going to do with the sentencing. That's coming up in September.
Yeah.
They're going to sentence him in September. And I'd love to see them try to put him in jail.
What is he guilty of currently? Do you know?
Lying on
34 felonies.
Yeah, and the felonies
Who
are
fucking
all...
knows,
well,
dude?
I thought,
like,
but
they took
falsifying
misdemeanors.
documents.
They took misdemeanors and turned them into felonies somehow.
But didn't some of the felonies with the SCOTUS official act ruling, didn't some of those get basically washed?
We don't know.
Because
we'll find out.
Presidential immunity or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think so. But also, yeah, they were all like fucking falsifying documents in business and shit. It's all stuff that every powerful fucking liberal does. And conservative, right? Like,
no, you use tax codes in your fucking favor.
well, yeah, no, 100%.
When you're fucking rich like that you have to do that, or they fucking take all your money.
But what I don't get is like, how is we're gonna fucking demonize Trump?
No,
over his
I know what
dealings.
I know. If we go back to it, they try to say that he overinflated the values of his properties, and he used loans on those inflated values to make more wealth, which none of the banks cried foul. They all got paid back.
So he was convicted on those ones?
He was convicted on
so
those.
So what about, because some of them were also that he tried to pay hush money to.
That's another one.
Stormy Daniels.
But they're saying
they
were saying that was a campaign.
It was campaign funds.
But then the feds didn't take that case up because they couldn't find any merit in it.
But they still
turned it
at a state level.
Yeah.
And so that's my other curiosity is.
And then he has the other shit that he's working on in Georgia with the election fraud shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we haven't seen the end of any of this yet.
Yeah, I'm very curious how this is going to play out.
At the end of the day, I want my president to fuck porn stars.
It's just a job. That's what you said the other day.
It's
right?
a fucking honest living.
It's an honest living.
And let's be real here. Like, bro, you got the most stressful fucking job in America. Maybe go fuck a porn star. I don't see the problem here. Like, when everyone came down on Bill Clinton for that shit, I'm like, you go get yours, son. You're the fucking president. You do
but the
what
thing
you
is,
want,
bro,
I think it's more of a matter of character.
Yeah.
That's probably what we're
What's
talking
wrong with
about.
that? There's a lot of good
the
people
thing
in porn.
is, it's like they are going after him so hard. They've never gone after anybody this hard.
Yeah.
They don't
No,
go
I
after
mean-
anybody in their own party this hard.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, how is what Trump did so fucking horrible? But like the fact that Nancy Pelosi can have all of this fucking power
And money.
and then her husband's just over there.
Bro,
like,
they make
oh,
like
yeah,
$170,000 a year, and they're all multi-millionaires.
Oh, filthy rich. And it's
Oh.
like you're over here helping things push along so your husband can fucking make
Yeah.
extra money. When he got hit
The
in the head with
backdoor
the hammer,
deals
bro,
are
I was so
incredible.
happy.
Well, and it's dude, it's the insider trading.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, the backdoor deals, that's to me, those are power plays. I'm sure there's some cash that changes hands,
Yeah,
but their ability to manipulate the market
to make
Yeah.
money.
and to make money off of the stock market when they very well
Yep.
know
Yep.
what legislation is changing what regulations is so wrong
Mm-hmm.
and so corrupt, and everyone does it. Everyone. No one goes to Congress and comes out poor.
Yeah.
Not one goes and lives off of their 170,000, because how can you? How can your office have an operating budget? And I don't know what budget they're offered at what levels of Congress. Like, I know they're given a budget to have secretaries and staff or whatever. So I don't know what those numbers look like. I'm sure somebody's going to be able to clarify on that, but none of them come out with net worth
Yeah.
that is commensurate with the money that they are paid.
Yeah. It's insane.
None of them.
It's
Not
insane.
one.
I don't know. But back to her, I think that without taking any of her shit out of context, I really don't want to play that game, but come get them. Do your thing.
I don't.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Do your
I
fucking
know for
thing.
a fucking fact, at least here in Ada County, the Ada County Sheriff's Department ain't sending goddamn nobody door to door for guns. Boise PD probably wouldn't do the same.
I don't think Boise
I don't-
PD would. The mayor might try to.
Yeah, but Boise PD. I mean, here's the
Listen,
thing.
they just enacted one of the craziest taxes of all time, and people are still buying guns. Even though our numbers are off 100 grand,
Yeah,
people are
they're
still
still
buying
moving.
guns
Yeah.
at
Yeah.
a record pace.
Yep.
People are still buying guns at a record pace here. There's over 300 million guns, or 300 million. How many?
We've got 300 million people in this
So
country.
there's like double that
Yeah.
in guns.
When Idaho's like number 3 in gun ownership in the fucking world.
and we have less
Like
than
number
2 million
10,
people in
number
our state.
10.
way less than 2 million.
Or
Whereas like
you mean
one,
per capita?
oh no, I mean just like as far as like
I think we're number
gun-
10 the last time we looked it up.
No, it's Alaska, Montana, Wyoming, and us.
I don't know. I'd have to look it up, but I think
I think
no, I think
these are the 4 players.
we're 10.
Texas has got to be in there.
Texas is on the list of the top 10. But
So
no-
what's the stat? Is it per
overall gun sales and owned in households here? I'm pretty sure.
gun?
Like
owner?
maybe it's not per capita,
There's just not a lot of people here, though. That's the thing.
but everyone has.
Well, 1.6 million people in the whole state of Idaho.
I think that's like 1.4, 1.6, some bullshit like that.
So Montana. So I don't gun ownership percentage by state as of 2024.
I think we're 10.
So Montana 66.3% own guns.
Yeah.
Wyoming 66.2, Alaska 64.5, Idaho 60.1. So we're number 4.
Yeah.
West Virginia 58.5, Arkansas 57.2,
Yeehaw.
Mississippi 55.8, Alabama 55.5, South Dakota and North Dakota respectively 55.3 and 55.1.
Wait, did you say Texas?
Texas is not on that
It's
list.
because Texas is liberal as fuck.
No, it's not.
Austin is.
Austin is.
I know.
Yeah.
If you're listening from Texas, I don't love you, but I kind of love you. But I don't like Austin. Even though Austin is bar none one of the coolest
It is a
fucking
cool
cities in
city.
the planet.
Austin? Oh,
If
yeah.
you guys could just simply get all of the fucking tech out of Austin,
Dude.
it would be fucking so wicked again.
Texas
I
is
fucking love it.
45.7%. They're like number 20. I'm not going to count, but it's like 25, 30.
Where's California at on that list?
California, 28.3% ownership.
That's actually surprisingly not.
That makes sense.
No, I was gonna say that's not. It's
There's a huge population there, man.
It says,
Well, here's the thing,
It says
everyone
DC
from,
is
like-
0%.
just like you getting 5 people.
Maybe on reported. There's a bunch of freaking hoodlums out there, dude.
With switches.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It's gonna be it's
It's going to be a real dicey next 5 months. Honestly, we're like less than 100 days to go
Pop
to the election,
pop the popcorn. It's gonna
and
be
I think
interesting.
I think once Trump is elected, things are going to get spicier.
All right, so predictions, and then we'll close out. 2 predictions. 1, what happens? What do you think are the first things we see in the first couple of, let's say, the first 48 hours if Trump makes the election? And then the same question if Kamala makes the election. As far as what are the people going to do? How are they going to react?
So if Trump wins, there's going to be absolute fucking chaos in the liberal city streets. They're going to burn their fucking towns down, and they're going to loot and riot, and the police won't be able to do shit.
What was that thing that
I-
Portland did?
okay, here.
The
Let me-
autonomous zone.
Oh, no, that was Washington.
Washington.
Seattle.
I honestly think there's more people, center and left, that are going to vote for him. I think
Yeah.
it's going to be these little pockets that they're going to be these paid agitators like the Summer of Love that we saw.
Yep.
And we're going to see these little pockets stir up. But if Harris is elected, nobody's going to believe it. Nobody on the right. I don't think even the left. No one's going to believe it. And I think we're going to be in chaos. And I think that they're going to go super fucking hard at whatever they can do to
Yeah.
throw at whatever.
But here's the thing. Do you think if Harris wins, do you think Republicans take to the street and fuck things up?
No.
I don't think
Fuck.
conservatives are.
We might fucking block fucking entry to certain places.
Dude,
But I don't-
I just don't see, unless they do some crazy radical shit, then yes. But dude, I just don't
Kamala
see.
Harris winning is radical.
No, I
crazy
don't
shit.
see,
Yeah.
like we talked about a couple days ago on the pod, like if people are too comfortable,
Yeah, people are
they're going to have
cozy,
to
man.
feel real pain before change comes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
And I don't know what level, what threshold that is. I know that I am not living like I want to. Like we're comfortable, but I thought that I'd be at this age in my life after 16 years of doing this.
bro, same.
I thought that I'd be way more ahead of the game. But I feel like these last 3.5 years, the amount of taxes that we've paid, to be honest with you, even prior to Trump's tax breaks, because they were just now starting to hit,
Yeah.
dude, we were getting fucking crushed in taxes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, fuck
Just
yeah.
crushed. And it seemed like I was working harder for less money,
Mm-hmm.
and I was taking home less money. And I haven't had a pay raise in the last 6 years. I paid myself the same. So, moving here was a blessing because we paid less tax.
Yep.
But however, because I have a paycheck out of the Sacramento store, I'm still paying those taxes. You know what I mean? And it's just,
You can't pay yourself as a remote employee.
no, it doesn't work that way. My accountants don't like that idea.
Really?
Yeah, they think it's a little crazy. I think maybe a new tax.
That's
Yeah,
seriously.
that's
That
second
doesn't make-
opinion.
That
But,
makes no sense
it's,
to me.
I thought that for sure myself would be way more ahead of the game at this age in life, but I feel like I'm working harder for less.
Yeah.
And I know that everybody else is too, and I'm not crying the poor mouth by any means, but I think that gets worse if we have another 4 years, 8 years of this trajectory.
So my prediction, one, I think Trump is victorious.
Yes.
My first prediction is that if and when he wins, I think that they are going to double down on the legal issues and try to continue to take him to court throughout his presidency. That's my first prediction.
That's a no-brainer. They're doing that
My second,
regardless.
I know, but I think a lot of people's mindset is that it's gonna, once the election is over, it's gonna end. When he
Will
wins,
not.
when he
No
wins,
way.
I think they double down on that. Second prediction is everybody thinks there's gonna be tons of. Are there gonna be some paid agitators? Absolutely. I think we're gonna see some. It's gonna be short lived because I think most people are going to realize that where it hurts the most, which is their wallet, is going to start to improve.
Yes.
So my thing is whatever unrest that we see is going to be pretty short lived. If Kamala wins, I don't think we see any violence, maybe a few protests here and there that get spicy because of agitators or whatever. But I don't think you're going to see any of the widespread looting, rioting, blah, 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 blah. None of that stuff.
No.
Frankly, if the most spicy it's going to get if and when she wins is going to be if she tries to create executive action and law enforcement agencies start going door to door trying to take guns. I don't see how that's going to happen functionally. I don't think it will happen. But if that goes into effect somehow, that's when it's going to get spicy. Other than that, if she gets elected, I think we're just going to have 4 years of the same bullshit we've been dealing with. And it's going to be a whole bunch of just passive blasé, a bunch of talk and not a bunch of action. Those are my predictions.
Could you imagine being in law enforcement and getting told when you show up to work, like, all right, yeah, we're going to go door to door and start grabbing guns? How fucking terrifying.
thing is,
Oh,
they'll-
my badge would be on the desk.
Here-
I would
immediately.
literally be like, I got to go.
But
guys.
here's how they do
Ow.
it, dude. Here's how they do it. They take you unassumingly,
Yeah.
one by one, put you in the system, make you a criminal. They parade you through the news media to make all your neighbors and everybody else fucking think that you're some terrible person.
Yep.
And then you fucking give up and just be like, please don't fucking send me to prison.
They red flag you to
Yeah,
death.
it's fucking, it's.
Yeah, but can they do that to everyone?
It's death by 1,000 fucking cuts. I mean, we'll see.
Yeah.
They won't do it in some mass fucking. They can't.
Well,
That's how they'll do
logistically,
it. They just do it singularly, and then it will just go off into the wind.
Well,
You're gonna need
they
enough
started
people
doing
to
that
get
with
fucking pissed off.
what are those triggers? The force reset triggers. Yeah,
Yeah, but now those are not illegal
I know,
anymore.
but they were sending the ATF to people's doors.
Yeah, and people were like, "Fuck you,
Yeah.
get a warrant, motherfucker."
Yeah. Which was
If
great to
law
see.
enforcement ever fucking comes to your house without a fucking
Lawyer.
warrant, fucking shut the fucking door on 'em.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Lawyer, come back with a
And
warrant.
if you're a fucking
Don't
cop
even
listening to
open the
this and you
fucking
don't agree
door.
with that, fuck you too.
yeah, totally
100%.
agree.
Like literally, don't come to my fucking house without a fucking warrant because I ain't gonna talk to you.
No.
I told my wife, you don't talk to the fucking police without a fucking lawyer present ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Told my
even-
daughters the same fucking thing.
I wouldn't
No,
even open my door.
fuck no.
I'd look
Fuck
through and
you.
be like, "Yeah, you're fucking mad." I'll talk to him through the ring cam.
One
Like,
thing
I'm
before
sitting on my
we
couch,
go.
bitch.
Here's what I would like to see happen. If and when Trump is elected, that he fires every single head of the FBI, the Secret Service, the fucking DOJ, all of them are done. A full accountability of those agencies, an investigation is launched on those from everything that was happened to him starting day one when he came down that escalator in 2016 or 15 and fucking investigate the fuck out of everybody. And we get to the bottom of it and the American people get some fucking transparency.
I don't think we're going to see that. I would love to see
That's
the
what I would
IRS
like to
get
see.
smaller, but I don't think we're going to see that. We might see we'll see replacements of the heads, but the body's going to stay the same. But I don't think everybody says we're going to drain the swamp. We're going to drain. Nobody's going to drain the swamp.
Well, that's what needs to happen.
I agree. I wholeheartedly agree. And
There
I
needs to be some transparency
would-
because nothing is real.
I would love
Nothing is real right now.
Yeah, I would love to see that. Would love to see it.
Yeah.
Do not believe that it's going to happen.
Moral of the story, local cops don't come to my house.
Yeah. And also, if you do want to see all that happen, vote for me. I'll do it. I'll fuck. But I also will warn you, I am a fucking dictator. So
Well,
probably
We
don't.
need some major change.
Maybe
and I think,
I'm not going to vote for
I
you.
think it all. I think it
Probably
all
don't.
comes locally. I think that we all need to get
Yeah, I agree.
involved. I think we talk about it. All of us talk a big game. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do that.
I think local, like, I want to say like PAC is probably like a political action committee, like small local businesses, not creating PACs to financially influence how things go.
Mhm.
I mean, maybe it's on some level, but I mean, to create organized opinions, organized civil dissent, organized, where we can say, hey, look, like these are the influential members that we have of this PAC, and here's the support we have.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that we can start to create tiered levels of organization and influence. I think that's
But civil discourse is needed.
I agree.
The problem is most people that argue with each other, they can't argue without getting in a confrontation.
Yeah. Fuck you. You don't believe in this stuff I
Literally,
believe in?
like, in closing, all of this fucking destruction that was happening in DC last year or last month or just last week with the Palestinian protests, all that shit, bro, there needs to be accountability for that shit.
If January
Cops
6th
were
was
getting fucking beat up. Monuments were getting fucking destroyed. There were fucking, dude, like, you have to have some sort of accountability. People need to go to fucking jail.
yeah. Yep. If January 6th was an insurrection and people are doing major sentences on January
Dude.
6th, then what went down needs to be held in the same light. It just does.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll never, though.
It won't. I agree.
Fucking
but it should.
cowards.
But again, we should drain the swamp, and I don't think we're going to see that happen either.
Yeah.
Not without a force reset. Anyways.
Well,
all right,
that's
guys.
where we're at, guys.
Yeah.
Thank
Episode
you.
9.
Yep.
No Quarter Podcast. No Quarter Pod on Instagram, YouTube. No Quarter _pod on X, which we're not super active on. We need to change that.
Yeah.
Give
Like-
us some comments, man.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
Comment down in the comment section.
We'll make it. We will absolutely send out an email for this last episode, and then we'll send out another one
Yeah.
for you. So I
Boom.
just got to get your guys' lists, and I'll put something together. So, anyways, we appreciate you guys. Thank you. Like, comment, subscribe, share, all that stuff. No Quarter Pod.
Be a badass patriot.
Be a patriot.
Yep.
Rebel peacefully. Jeremy's like, meh.
As I just stare into the camera, and I'm just like, maybe.
All right, guys, that's it.
All right, we're done.
Thank you.